In a world wrought with struggle and strife, a world rich with beauty and grandeur, a world where peril lies around every corner, a world of casting and honing. One group steps up to share the perspective of the masses in this, the World of Warcraft. We are Ponecast, the voice of the players.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Welcome back. You are listening and/or watching Ponecast. This is episode 61, and we are in patch 6.1.2. I am your Warlock host, Belle. I did also bring the Riders of Rohan with me, although it's making it appear, if you're watching, that I have kidnapped some members. I don't understand. I do understand, and what the deal is it takes us 30 minutes to start because they don't stop talking, so he's duct taped himself in protest of me telling him to shut up.
Can I talk now?
Not yet. Keeping him quiet.
Not yet.
Not yet. But I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me, and I did bring the mage who dyed his hair for the Azeroth beauty pageant, Frieza.
I did. I couldn't get enough of the gear change for the gear that I'm getting now for my Horde Frieza. He's a troll, so I don't put the helmet on. So whatever outfit I wear, I make sure the mohawk matches the outfit. So with the new gear that I'm getting,
the mohawk matches the outfit like the carpet matches the drapes?
Just like it. It's a robe.
I'm pretty sure you just lost 10 man cards.
That's pretty much what I did all week.
Accessorizing is always key to doing things in any type of customization to a tune.
Yeah, I was gearing it out, trying to get it the professions to 600, I mean to 700, and I'm still working on that right now. So
nice.
Horde Frieza eventually should be up to date eventually.
Nice. Well, we're glad you are here with your glasses that just give a whole new dimension to Frieza. That's the scientific smart bookworm Frieza you guys are seeing. For those of you that are listening, you should really start watching the show because it is funnier to watch.
If the fans are wondering why I got glasses, it's because I got them for arenas. That's the only reason why I got them, because I was tired of playing 2 long games with my contacts.
Makes sense, though. I mean, contacts are very, upsetting on the eyeballs. I did also bring the DK who wore a dress to last week's raid, Lycan.
Ow! That one hurt!
He has pulled the duct tape off in true nature and now has lost half of his beard.
I think I lost half my beard on. Yes! Hi! I'm having fun this week.
How about that dress?
Stress.
The dress you wore to the raid.
It was pretty, wasn't it?
It was pretty.
It is.
It's some beautiful tones.
Yeah, I like making myself look sexy.
And your legs look really nice. The DK legs, the Worgen legs specifically look quite fetching in a dress.
And to shave them is a pain in the ass, too.
I mean, I would imagine. You need to get a beauty waxer.
There's no denial or anything like that.
He's just like, it's all good.
I look pretty.
Well, we're glad you're here.
Oh, so pretty.
I did also bring the shaman who's going to be late to his own funeral, huge bloke. Golf clap for the...
Yay for me, yay for me. I got no. Between sleep and time differences, and generally I don't know what the hell's going on at the best of times. So my bad. I was late. Sorry, everyone.
He's late for everything. We don't mind. We love that about him.
The show is going to be released half an hour later because I slept in.
Nah, who cares? But, so this week, obviously, a lot of things going on with the 6.2 dropping on the 23rd, which you guys all know that was happening because we pretty much stated that from the beginning. Blizzard's really predictable, and I enjoy the predictability of their releasing of their content and things that they do. I really like that. So with that happening, we also talked about the PvP season ending when the patch drops on Tuesday. With that, for those of you that aren't aware and have just been doing things casually or have never been through a PvP season transition, what's going to happen is there's a couple-week lag time between the ending of a season and when the new season begins. The reason that they do this is so that they can do all the calculating for the reward eligibility for the mounts and the titles. So what happens is during this, and it could be anywhere from a week to 3 weeks really, in between before the Warlords Season 2 actually starts. So what's going to happen is once the patch hits on Tuesday, you're not going to be able to do RBGs or or arenas. You can do skirmishes, you could do battlegrounds, you could do war games, but you're not going to be able to do arenas or rated battlegrounds. What's also going to happen regarding the honor and the conquest that you have. The conquest will first convert to honor. Once you've capped out that honor at 4,000, the remainder of that is going to be converted into 35 silver per honor point is how that works out. So if you guys have been running arenas and RBGs and you have a ton of conquest points, that's going to equal to some pretty nice gold if you're already capped with your honor.
I think I have 35,000 conquest.
I have quite a bit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm into the 30,000. Whatever the cap is, I have because I can't actually get any more conquest. With that, you won't get your title and your mount rewards for whatever you've progressed through the season in rating until they've calculated and done all those things. You also will not be able to buy Season 1 gear purchases because you're not going to have conquest. So good luck with that. In case you're going to try and you're going to think that you're going to have time to do that, that's not going to happen. So make sure.
Well, it should go to honor.
Yeah, it'll go to honor, but you won't be able to buy any of their conquest pieces. So
when the vendors pop up again.
Yep, get everything you need done now. Get it out of the way. Take some time, do some war games, do some random skirmishes, do some whatever while you're just waiting. We will let you guys know on the Podcast Daily Quest, Ashran. We'll let you guys know when that does, when the season date beginning is going to start.
And to pop in there, just real quick, it's a great way to catch up on your rating gear. If you don't have anything at 660 or below, that's a great way to catch up on it.
Yep, agreed. So with that, most of you have probably already noticed the game World of Warcraft up into Mists of Pandaria is on sale 40%. Warlords of Draenor, the expansion, is on sale 40%, including the deluxe edition. So if you have a friend or family member you want to get into WoW, now's the time to get them into this life suck we call World of Warcraft. And now's the time to gift it. Father's Day is coming up. Whatever you guys might use it for. With the stuff being on sale as far as games related are concerned, the mounts and the pets are also 25% off. That's going to last through July 7th. So give the gift of World of Warcraft to your husband, your brother, your cousin. Father's Day for Father's Day, sometimes we want to get an e-gift. Maybe you don't have to get him a tie or a crappy golfing memorabilia. Not all dads golf. I don't even know what golf is, so I mean, I know it's boring. But now take advantage of that and even take advantage for yourself buying some pets or mounts that you might have wanted from the store but didn't want to pay for.
Might have to get myself some and then get my multi-box on.
Well, maybe not.
I struggle to play one account properly.
Let
How am I
alone
going to
several,
play
right?
2?
Makes sense.
But at that price, I'd like to have a crack at it.
So take advantage of the store sales and get in there and get some. Also on the Blizzard store, this is completely not related to the store sale, but the Blizzard store, I don't know if you guys have found this on the gear store. There's a button, a ding button. And the ding, and I do say button. The ding button was normally $20. It's $15 now. You push the button. It's kind of like the Staples hit the easy button. It dings, the real life ding sound. So we made jokes earlier about what you could use the ding for in the guild team speak, and it was a possibility of using it for certain adult extracurricular activities like ding, I'm done, whatever. But fun to be had for everyone that buys the ding button. It is on the Blizzard.gear store. Blizzard.gear.com, I believe, is what it is. And go buy yourself a freaking ding button. I think that would just be lovely, right?
No.
On the nightstand.
I'm going to buy one for the show. So instead of trying to interrupt when we need to move on because we're over time, I'm just going to ding. And that's going to mean it's time to move on.
That's actually not a bad idea.
I think that's probably what we're going to do. So I will be purchasing that this week. Okay, now moving into the stuff. Obviously, with 6.2 starting on Tuesday, this does mean that the normal and heroic difficulty for Hellfire Citadel is going to be released when the patch drops. Week 2 is going to bring you Mythic difficulty as well as the first wing of LFR, which is Hellfire Assault, Iron Reaver, and Cormrock. It's week 4, so you're looking at July 7th is going to be the second wing of LFR. Which includes Hellfire, High Council, Kilrogg, and Gorfine. Week 6, which is going to be July 21st, is going to be the third wing of LFR, which is Shadow Lord Iskar.
Sokathar?
Because I can never say his name. Sokathar, I'm thinking Sokathar the Eternal. I can never say his name properly. And Tyron Belhari. Week 8, which is going into August, it's actually August 4th, that's going to be Raid Finder Wing 4, which you're going to get, I'm not even saying any of those names except for Manaroth. That's all you guys need to know. Manaroth is involved in that wing.
That guy and his friends.
Right.
Yes.
And then Wing 10 is going to be, or Week 10 is going to bring Raid Finder Wing 5, which is Final Boss 4, Hellfire Citadel, which is Archmon. So, I did. Trying to find, obviously, it's been stated that obviously for LFR, you have to have a minimum item level, and it is 650. Did browse lots of forums, Wowhead, all the places where they've already done theory crafting on what your item level needs to be really for your raid to be successful for normal, heroic, and mythic. Everybody has a different definition of what they feel. The consensus is this. So if I'm wrong about the item levels, do not comment on the video and yell at me because I took it from a bunch of communities and just did an average of what people are thinking. This is not anything that's set in stone. This is just what the community is thinking is good. So if you're trying to plan your raiding with your guild, here's going to be a guideline. So for normals, probably want to have everybody 680 to 685 within that range. Why are you shaking your head?
The only reason I'm shaking my head is I agree. That's where that benchmark should be. I see nerfs coming. I see rages on the floor.
I'm sure.
Because regular is 670 right now in Blackrock Foundry?
Yeah, but the thing about it is the item level, the item level tier set that you're going to be getting from that raid has to coincide with what the minimum already is. So
I agree, but
you're starting off at 695 for normal. So it's going to have to be 10 underneath it. So for normals, suggested, and I kind of tend to agree with this as a person that does rating with the guild, 680 to 685. Heroic, you probably want to be 695 to 700 in that range. Mythic, you're probably looking at a minimum benchmark of about 720, which isn't difficult because your heroic gear is 720. So it shouldn't be 720 to 735 is what your heroic gear is going to give you. So.
And for LFR, it'll be 2 greens, 2 blues, a fishing pole, and a wedding dress.
And duct tape. Don't forget don't forget about the duct tape. So LFR isn't going to be a thing the first week. That's great. It gives you time to focus on Tanaan Jungle, focus on the shipyard, focus on some of the things that are coming and doing, and be an admiral of a navy. Maybe I just want to wear a pirate hat and maybe have, a patch over one eye and possibly have a peg leg.
I have the Bloodsail Admiral title, which, if you know anything about it, is a really, really stupid and annoying title to get. I can finally wear a hat now and be a proper Bloodsail Admiral. This is like the greatest moment in WoW ever since forever. Best
Sometimes I wish the viewers and the listeners were privy to the in-between talking chats that happen. Some of it is to the point where I can't even deal with life. Moving on. If you guys listen to the show and you fancy on occasion, maybe you want to, if you didn't know that we do have a video version, we do have a YouTube channel. You should always check out the video because some of the things that happen visually are, although some are displeasing to the eye on occasion, they are pretty awesome in that respect. Moving on. So another huge wave of character name releasing is happening. This is going to happen as of the patch coming out on Tuesday. If you have not logged on to your tune since December 7th of 2010, you are going to lose your name. Also, in another thing, if you're one of the asshats that just want the name but have no intention of using it and just log in during these waves, release it for someone. Be nice. Or if you legitimately just want to save the name, then save the name. Make sure you log in so that your name is saved and you don't get hit with that losing of the name. There was no level cap that I seen in the posting.
No, it wasn't. It was just
so it doesn't matter if you're level 100. Well, obviously not 100, but whatever the highest level would have been back then, if you haven't logged into it, you are going to lose it. So make sure you guys log into it this weekend. I think mobile armory counts, doesn't it? Or does it have to be physical?
Physical, I think.
Oh, it does have to be physical. I would have thought mobile armory would have counted as an online situation, but guess not. Tons of updates to the tier 18 set bonuses. There was too many for me to list. all really good things, though. Even classes I don't play, I do recognize what the bonuses are. They just did a bunch of changes.
Yeah, I was checking those out. That's cool.
Nice, right?
Yeah. I was in.
Some nerfs, but not too bad. I mean, they nerfed it a little bit with the blood DKs, but
poor blood DKs.
Poor them.
We struggle.
The struggle of what?
I'm gonna hang up the call.
The struggle of finding out what dress you like in a raid, because that's how less serious you have to take raiding because it's a face roll for you. I can't even deal with you, literally. Ugh, can't even deal.
Oh my god.
I didn't hear you guys complaining when I was on Hans and Franz, and I was
I don't complain. You misunderstand. DKs are amazing, which is in part why it's so funny when a DK is like, oh, they're nerfing something. I'm sorry, because you're still awesome. DKs are they're one of those classes that no matter what they're doing, they're good across the board. They're the perfect tank. They're the perfect mofo to come smash your face in as a clothy.
Just remember, out of all you other classes, we're the only hero class. Thank you very much. Move on.
It's hard not to be awesome when you've only got 4 buttons to press.
Ooh. Did you smell that burn?
You really should start watching this show.
I did talk about a while back when I did play a DK. I don't really know how to DK. I just click whatever lights up. When shit lights up, I just click it.
You don't have to know how to DK.
Just smash your head against the keyboard.
I can say that as a qualified DK player.
For anybody who's saying or is upset about what we're saying, it's all in good fun. Really, we're just kidding. I mean, we're not kidding because it's serious, but please don't.
I don't like you
because I don't like a blood DK in an arena. So if you're a blood DK in an arena, get the fuck out and stop talking to me.
No. I don't mind blood DKs no more. It's the brewmasters. You people.
Gotcha.
I ain't got nothing.
If you're a tank in an arena, get the fuck out. Seriously. Stop being tanks in arenas. You don't need to. Just bye, Felicia.
You're going to lose, and it's going to take 14 minutes, 15 minutes to kill you. I can't talk about it. We're not
going to talk about it because Bryce doesn't have aneurysm.
That'll be another 20 minutes right there.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
Probably. Awesome. So, let's talk about something interesting. Me and Shavi were Skyping earlier about some stuff for the Pwnecast Daily Quest because she is one of the editors. And we're going through all these things, and in addition to finding the news, I always try to find little things that are in the community that maybe you guys didn't hear about that are kind of like my little Easter eggs, my little golden nuggets, if you will. In us browsing things, we come across a series of forum posts regarding banning of botters. So we had the big, huge wave. Recently, when I say recently, within this last week, there have been a slew of people that took to the forums because their accounts have either been banned for 6 months or permanently banned.
After this week?
Yes, this last week. So it's safe to assume that even though the huge wave happened, that there's still an ongoing something in the background that Blizzard knows what you're doing. They're logging.
My server has gone quiet all of a sudden.
So... Rebot is something that got permanent banned. If you were using Rebot, people got a permanent ban. We're talking guys from vanilla. Permanent ban. Sad state of affairs. Everybody's in a huge uproar. So, my reason for stating this is, so we had the big ban wave. We talked about botting. They were also using herb gathering, and...
Right. Yeah, and I was gonna say this isn't just botting for people that are doing, quests and they're gathering their mats. It's also in arena bots as well.
Correct. They're using pet battle bots to automate pet battles and rotation bots to automate rotation, which personally really pisses me off when you use a one-button automation for your rotation. I talked about this when we talked about the botters and how people brag about all the accomplishments they've done. DPS, link the meters, look what I did here. You pushed one button. You had a computer do it. I'm not impressed.
Well, my biggest one I hated the most was the one where if you download a bot to your character, and the second someone does a polymorph or any type of CC, it'll automatically counterspell that without you even doing it.
We went, the three of us went into a arena, and there was 3 holy paladins that were all the same name with a slight alt code variation, and it was bots and multi-boxing. Bots and multi-boxing all in one. Isn't that awesome? That was fucking the greatest minute of my life. I was so irritated. So let me tell you what happens. We literally, these bots, the programming of it's pretty awesome, because you're right. It's the second I feared something was happening, or right before I was about to fear, it was like genius was happening, and it was so difficult. The full length of the arena match, whatever the time is for the arena, is what it took for us to kill these 3 holy paladins. Literally, it is what it took, because we couldn't split them up. They would stay together, and literally there was no trying to split them or do all these things. I was pretty irritated. We won, but it took a lot to kill these botters / holy something was what they were called. Holy Shield or Shield of Holy or some crap. Posted it on Ponecast's Facebook. But my purpose for bringing this up, if you guys are still doing things that are automating things that you know is against term of service, your line of thought process might have possibly been, well, they did a huge ban, so it's going to be another 3 years before they bother with another one. The fact that they're still continuously banning people should tell you that they've now implemented something they haven't told us about, and it's likely something that constantly watches. It constantly logs activity, and it's constantly looking for these things.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess, because of the way that the forum posts are happening, it looks like it's a weekly deal. So it's possible that they take so much amount of game time that each account is on doing things, and they use that data from whatever amount. I don't work for Blizzard, so I don't really know. This is an assumption. But you could probably bet your bottom dollar that it's continuous implementation. On a larger level, more than just their normal thing, I'm pretty sure. Are you okay, like it?
Because it is.
This frustrates me. First of all, if you're going onto the forums and you're complaining about being banned,
I know.
Excuse me, but you're fucking cheating.
I know.
How much clearer can it be?
I got arrested because I robbed Circle K yesterday. How dare you?
Right. and the funny thing is, though, my mother is 65 years old and plays WoW. If I told her what Rebot was, or if I told her what Honor Body was, she has no clue about it and not going to set it. It is not the innocent that are cheating, that are getting busted. Oh, I didn't do anything but one button. Yes, you cheated. See you bye. I think they ought to ban them. They ought to ban them permanently with their email address, their MAC address,
and
on their machines, and ban the machines.
Okay, you could have played dumb with the huge ban that happened. And when I say play dumb, there might have been things you were doing that you didn't know. Right? You might have had something that was scripted as far as maybe professions that you didn't know. Because some of the stuff that did get banned was something that I probably would have used and didn't know it either. An auto miller, or that's just an example. But I might not have known that wasn't okay either. And I'm talking about on a very small scale. So sometimes ignorance is bliss in the fact that maybe people didn't know it. So after the big ban happened, there wasn't an individual under the rock of the earth that didn't know about the bans and what was bannable, because the community managers went on there and stated, here's what's bannable, here's what's not bannable, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So yes, the first set of ban waves, this recent history, obviously some people could have fallen in that, well, I didn't know that it was considered automated. But now you're getting into the realm of just completely, please go back to school and possibly get some smarticles here, because you're continuous, and then you're going on the forums and you're complaining about it. Here's the thing. I don't judge you, because at the end of the day, that's your gameplay. As long as it doesn't affect mine. If you're in arenas and you're dungeoning and you're battlegrounding, then I judge you, and I have a problem with that. Whatever you're doing on your account, that's your business. You pay for it. However, please stop going on the forums and complaining that the ban hammers happened because you're violating terms of service. I always tell people in life, you always read the terms and conditions of what you're allowed to do, no matter what it is. New job, you read the whole term employee handbook. You need to know what your rights are as a gamer and what you're paying for service-wise, just as much as Blizzard and whatever other game company that you're using has a right to protect themselves. So, with that being said, if you're doing anything that automates your gameplay, stop.
You're an idiot.
No, just stop. Stop it altogether. Just please, I am begging you, and then stop taking it to the forums and complaining. If it's a legitimate thing that you got banned for that you shouldn't have, my heart goes out to you, and I hope Blizzard fixes it. But if whatever you're trying to pretend to tell people, stop it. Stop it right now, and just go.
Yeah, name another video game that this is acceptable.
Right.
And there's so many ways out there to legitimately automate stuff. Like your auto miller, I have a macro that does that for me.
I have the same macro. And
it's not cheating.
That's why I said, here's the thing. I understand the first time it happened, it was explainable because 2 years ago, I used an auto mill thing that I had downloaded. I didn't know that it was not okay to use it until somebody was like, hey, you're using an auto miller? And I was like, well, yeah, I mean, who wants to sit there and click a fucking button 12 million times to mill shit? And they're like, oh, no, you can't use that. And I was like, oh. Then somebody was like, here's a macro that you can use to do all that stuff. Boom. Happiness all the way around. So please, stop botting, guys. It's not that serious. If you're botting, you shouldn't be playing a game.
I agree with that.
And
Go play Farmville.
Cool.
Go do something that's free where you could bot all the hell you want to. Just stop botting. It's annoying. But that
it's not even playing anymore. And I said that last time.
I know.
That was a little tidbit I wanted to share. Also, in regards to last week, we talked about the what was required for your
flying achievement.
Here's what happened. And Bianca, she had commented on the video, and I think she deleted it because maybe she felt bad. So when you're watching this, you don't feel bad. My show notes sometimes, they indent not where they're supposed to. So the Tanaan Diplomat is actually the name of the achievement for the reputations. It was misinformation, so I did correct it in the last video, but if you're listening to this on the audio version, that was absolutely incorrect. We do have a guide up on Pwnecast Daily Quest on what reputations you need to have. Also, it was brought to my attention by a listener or by a watcher on YouTube that I forgot to mention if you have a level 3 trading post, you get 20% Draenor reputation increase.
Give you a suggestion, too?
So, amazing.
If you're catching up on some of your Mista Pandaria ones and you want your alts, you get them little tokens that you get off the Zandalari. If you use them inside your trading post, it gives you an extra 20%. They haven't fixed it yet.
So, if you don't have a trading post, work on getting that level 3 because there's a certain thing you need to do to unlock level 3 if you've never used it. That way you can take advantage, and you can get rid of it after you've got your reps that you need, but take advantage of the 20% increase because that'll make it when you're progressing through Tanaan Jungle and doing your shipyard stuff and LFR or all the other stuff that you can get reputation for, it'll make it a lot faster. So thank you.
I can't wait.
Thank you to who told me on the video that I completely left that out, which is poor form. I felt like a jerk when I left that out, and I apologize to our listeners that I did leave that out. I know, it's terrible. Let's see where we're at time relation here. All right.
That the reputations are really the only thing I have to do. And I'm looking forward to it.
Spires of Iraq, quest line, little mini.
Like a whole 2 days.
Yeah, I should be able to
into new content. Huzzah, bacon for all.
I'm really excited just because I like new stuff. When new stuff happens, I get pretty excited when there's always new things. Everybody always complains that there's nothing to do and blah blah blah. And sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's boring and you have to move on to something else or find something new that's interesting. We talk about that pretty much every week. I'm going to take it over to Lycan. There was a lot of questions, which we love, by the way, when you guys make your comments on the video. I know the audio guys don't really get to comment, but if you're listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher, head on over to the YouTube channel, which is all you have to do is put in Pwnecast in YouTube, and you'll find our channel really easily. Head on over, and if you're listening, go comment on the video version so that we can interact with the listeners, because most of the audio listeners email me, but it would be cool if the whole cast could see the comments. So a lot of confusion regarding Velen, right? Is that what you talked about?
Yes. You can hear me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I hit the mute button by accident. So there was a lot of confusion about Velen and how Velen fit into this. And, because I was talking about Archimond and I was talking about Kill Jade and how they're trying to chase after pretty much Velen the entire time. They're going, well, Velen's dead now. You have to understand the prophet Velen that we're talking about that sacrificed himself for the Naru in the Shadowmoon Valley. Spoiler alert if you haven't gone to that, and shame on you if you haven't done it yet. But that was the Warlords of Draenor one. It was sad. And they're going, my brother-in-law, by the way, happy birthday, Panamon. His birthday's today. But he had actually brought up the question. He goes, well, why are we still chasing after Velen? If we've already killed him, are we going after Yrel? Is Yrel going to be taking it over? When Velen sacrificed himself, there are some speculations that, it was.
It's making me tear up.
It was rough.
I'm crying right now thinking about it.
When I watched it, I was like, oh, snap. I can't believe this is happening right now, man. I threw a big old fit. Yeah,
I didn't cry, but it got very dusty.
There's tears in the eyes right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I wanted to know.
No, that's great. And actually, that was an awesome scene. And he sacrificed himself into the light to save Kara, or Kara, how you want to say it. There are some speculations, though, that is his essence now, is he dead? Is he gone? Is his essence trapped in Kara? Some people say that he is actually merged with the Naru that was up there. So it is a possibility that we still have to deal with Velen. But this Velen that sacrificed himself was not our Velen. And that's very important to understand that, because the chase is still on to go after him, go after the Draenor, and conquer Azeroth because of the defiance that he had towards Sargeras. So, when you're watching this and you're trying to follow along, Yrel is now the leader of the Caribor, leader of all the Draenor. She's in charge. She has his mark. She sits on the Council of Exarchs. That's what we're dealing with here. Don't try to confuse our Velen with this one. Also, moving forward, being that this is the only faction leader that is existing right now in both places, in order for that to kind of work its way out with the timeline and everything, we had to get rid of Velen some way. So I think the storytelling-wise, that is why he had to sacrifice himself. Now that he's out of the picture, there is no other Thrall. There is no other Sylvanas right now. We haven't even been to, that Draenor never even made it to Azeroth. There was no invasion over there. So in order for this to tie itself neatly up, the old Velen had to be out of the picture. He had to be out of the storytelling. And I believe, what we're going to see going forward, if we go ahead and sever all ties with this Draenor, that story just works its way off. Remember, they are not going to invade the other Azeroth because this is a completely different timeline. So he had to sacrifice himself and he had to get rid of him story-wise to move forward.
But only in this timeline.
Only in this timeline.
So Velen's still alive in the alternate side-by-side.
Our original timeline, Velen is still there.
Yeah, and he's still alive.
Right, and that had to happen in order for the storytelling to go forward. Because what if this became a natural thing where both of them would both Velens meet? Would they be able to interact? What would happen with the interaction? What would go on there?
Matrix.
Some people say you cannot see yourself. Remember, what was that? Back to the Future. You can't visit yourself.
You'll alter the future forever.
Right. So we had to get rid of him.
Where is he right now in our timeline?
He's still in the Exodar. Yep.
He's still there. Okay. He's just sitting there kicking in Doritos.
Pretty much. Admiring the crash site, right? Because isn't the crash site right outside of the Exodar?
Well, the crash site is actually the starting area for the Draenor. That is their home.
Amethyst Isle? Azure Isle.
Yeah, where that big diamond thing, Azure Base Isle, where that big diamond thing is, that is the ship. It's actually the universe's largest diamond.
It makes me feel bad because there's lots of injured Draenor there.
There are.
Sad.
Kill them all, I say.
Oh, shame on you.
Kill them all.
Do you realize
you're ugly right now?
How barbaric they were slaughtered by the orcs, taking children from their mother's arms and slicing the children's throats?
They were taking our jobs.
Okay. It's only
there goes an entire race.
But it's only funny. I'm not even going to go there. Anything I say canon will be used against me. They took our jobs. Anything canon will be used against me. So I'm going to not speak. I did offend Hispanic viewers. I have offended the Asian persuasion. I have offended pretty much every type of individual here. Inadvertently so. But Soiled is a good guildie, and he promptly let me know after the Hispanic insulting, which, if you're listening for the first time, it wasn't really insulting. Yeah. He wanted me to know he was Mocha. He designated Mocha. So,
well, now that we're down to 5 visitors from all the offenses that we've committed, it's nice to talk to you guys again. So
I'm Mocha back. Sorry.
Just make this a Google hangout.
So we're clear. Anything that's happening in this current timeline, as of this moment, unless Blizzard comes out of nowhere with some of their storylines, it's not affecting what's happening now, or we don't know.
Correct.
It could very well, we could go back to complete and utter desolation.
Correct.
Because the continuity might have changed things, swapped it, right?
Right. And also remember, mind you, there is right now another Azeroth that we're connected to.
What if killing them in one kills them in another?
It doesn't.
Kind of like when you die in your dreams, you die in real life, Freddy Krueger style.
Haven't you seen Jet Li the One?
Yes.
Where there's all the different universes.
If that was true, and if we kill Grommash, would that affect Garrosh never even taking over? If that was true, Velen would be dead, or both Velens would die.
Right.
So now that this Velen is dead, it is showing that no matter what we affect on this Draenor, on this alternate timeline that we're connected to, will not affect what's going on in the Prime.
How do we know, though? No future contents happen to state otherwise.
Because
we're not in the current Draenor, or we're not in the current timeline.
But if if that Velen was the same exact person as our current Velen, but 30 years younger, when he died, the other one should have died too.
Well, we don't know if our Velen's actually dead or not because we haven't been back there.
I have. I've seen him.
Make me cry again.
But they haven't killed him off.
Is he okay or is he not?
Our current Velen's fine because what happened is, like I said, there is another Azeroth 30 years ago that we're connected to that we've never been to. Draenor never made it to there. The invasion never happened. The first war never happened. So, Medivh never actually talked to this Gul'dan, or never successfully got him.
Yeah, but Gul'dan's crazy no matter what freaking reality we're in, right?
Right. And Medivh probably did talk to him, but what would happen is that Garrosh had that change to go to this timeline. So that Azeroth is sitting out there in the middle of nowhere doing nothing.
And we still don't know what prompted Garrosh to go to the alternate timeline, correct?
No, I mean, I'll speculate that it was Rathian because
because we did talk about the possibility, but something here's and I'm not saying Garrosh is not smart. So please, people that are Garrosh fans, don't be offended. I'm not saying he's not smart. Garrosh is the muscle. That's what he is. The design of things and the way things work out, that's not his handiwork. He has people to work all that shit out for him. He's the muscle. He's the guy that's going to kill you. It's been in my experience that you get one or the other. You either get the brain or you get the brawn. So I feel like who gave him this idea? He just didn't wake up one morning and say, hey, I'm going to go to this alternate timeline and I'm going to stop my father from making a huge mistake.
At the end of Mr. Pandaria, when you're doing the legendary cloak quest, Rathian said something very important, that he had visions, that the gods gave him visions of what was to be. And I'm telling you, we're going to find out when we meet up with Rathian again. He's gonna show us that it was him pushing the buttons. It was him to get Garrosh back here because he wants that ultimate power. I am still under the believing that Gul'dan's going to come into our Azeroth and try to go get this Heart of Sargeras. There is a driving force, but we just haven't been privy to it. And as much as and don't get me wrong too, I hate Garrosh. Okay, I actually absolutely loathe him. The man was done wrong in that Mak'gora.
Well, yeah, I don't hate him because I see the pain that he's been through, and I see his love for Thrall and that whole scenario and feeling abandoned by Thrall. Abandoned and feelings of emotional when it comes to men. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter if you're video gaming in real life. Men don't really process hurtful emotions the way that women do. So men turn it to anger. So I can understand what drove him to do. I understand what drove him to do those things. I'm angry I had to fight him for 2 years. I'm not really overly excited about that, but
And even with that, Garrosh Thrall even showed that emotional strength too, because he cheated during the Mak'gora. You're not allowed to use magic. It's straight, battle to battle. He should have just brought out Doomhammer and fought him, but he cheated. So even
to be fair, if I was fighting Garrosh, I would cheat too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, if Garrosh was losing, he would cheat.
Right. I don't believe that Garrosh would have been 100%.
No. So
good with himself,
Yeah, mind yourself on. I know it's confusing. Take the time though, if you're really confused about what's going on. Novel put a really good video out on the different timelines and how that worked. We've done it. This isn't anything new. We've gone in the past and stolen the Dragon Soul to take it back to kill Deathwing. We've done this time traveling in this alternate universe before. Take the time, watch some of the videos that are out there. Novel's got a good one out there. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A session when we get on stream, or streaming on Twitch or even on Facebook. I'm going to be able to answer some questions, but just take the time to learn the story. It's really, really difficult to sit here and explain it to you.
So I'm just impressed that there's still a chance. There's still a chance that they're all still alive somewhere out.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see the stuff that happens. I didn't do a lot of stuff in PTR through Tanaan because I wanted to experience it actually live and in the flesh. So I'm pretty excited to see some of that stuff. So we did progress through the news and all of that stuff very, very, very quickly. So I'm going to talk about a little announcement that we have, and then we're going to move on into our week in WoW. So why are you laughing? What's happening? Okay.
I'm just very happy that you all look so happy and chirpy, and I know what this announcement is.
Got it. Okay. So for probably as long as I can remember, we've always wanted to dive into the Twitch. Obviously, everybody wants to be Twitch famous. That's just the nature of life, and everybody wants to be a famous Twitcher. The reason that we finally decided is I had the means now because we have Hots for Shots, who's the little Twitch expert, and we have the team that we've spent the last couple months putting together and figuring out how we wanted to do it. We understanding that we wanted to make sure that we were streaming for the right reasons, really, and making sure that we were streaming things that were interesting and all of that. Some of the cast members and some of the admins are going to be, we have a scheduled stream that's going to be launching. They're really excited. It's going to be launching the 29th. I already stream Friday and Saturday nights. You guys, most of you probably already come and watch and hang out. I do stream the Guild RBGs. But every night of the week, it's going to be all scheduled. Same streamer on those specific nights with some random stuff probably in the early afternoon from myself and a few others. So we are going to have a huge launch party next week. Every streamer that's going to be streaming for those scheduled streams is going to have stuff to give away, mounts, pets. We have some Steam keys for some games on Steam. Tons of stuff's going to be given away to help kick this off and launch this thing. We are really, really excited because so many of you email. A lot of you guys comment on the videos, and so many of you say, it's really great that you guys do the weekly episode, but we would like some more stuff. We would like some interaction. We'd like to be able to do stuff. We want to see what you guys are doing. We want to watch what you guys are doing. So... and it's going to be a variety of things. It's going to be the RBGs. I do those every Friday and Saturday. It's going to be, Lycan's going to do a lot of fun pet battles with some lore corner stuff and some really good tinfoil hatting stuff going on. Bloke's going to do his random weird, whatever weird, odd bullshit Bloke does in Australia. But it's really... It's an opportunity for us to be able to kind of showcase some of the things that we do and just kind of hang out and have a good time.
I was almost offended by that, but I know it's true.
It's true. But people love your weird, whatever the weird stuff is, because you post it on the page, whatever your current weekly activity is, everybody's like, yes! And I'm like, what is he doing?
Huge Bloke did a thing!
So we are launching that. It's you guys can go and see the schedule, and it's going to be really, really organized. You can count on it. Nobody will miss. So with that, a lot of good things happening with giving away things. Come watch next week for nothing else other than to get free crap. Who doesn't love free? Free is awesome. I love free. I'm
like
cheap.
Free.
Right. Friza likes free, including women. So,
Of course, they don't know how to party, the free ones.
No. Well, and when you're paying for it, you're not paying them to stay. You're paying them to leave, really, essentially. I'm not saying I have personal experience with paying for anything, but...
They don't judge you for having these.
He did that because he knows I don't like that creepy, odd Yoda stuff. But so we're really, really excited. We've worked really, really hard. We have the stream overlays are being revamped as we speak. Everything is being done as we speak, and we're pretty excited as to what's going to happen with that. So make sure next week you guys join us and you come hang out with us every night of the week, because we are going to be there forever, or until the internet shuts off. So I paid the bill this week, so the internet's not going to shut off. But
holla!
Hashtag life goals. Paying your internet bills. But we're pretty psyched because we've kept it pretty much under wraps, and now we're gonna just spend the week hyping it up and doing all of those wonderful things, and we're excited to bring that to you guys. So.
And I promise to even be on time and not sleep in.
Lies.
Oh.
Well, you know what I started realizing is I
it
could just
first.
message the Mrs. Bloke. So I messaged Mrs. Bloke earlier and said, hey, can you tell the Mr. Bloke that he's late?
That's
So-
why I'm wearing the glasses, is
Right.
so you can't see the black eye that she gave me for sleeping in.
So with all of that fun excitement, let's talk about our week in WoW. Frieza, you told us a little bit about what you did.
Kind of just messing around with my Horde mage, still trying to get him
Traitor.
ready to go. Definitely the big thing was having to reset his professions because he was an inscriptionist and an herbalist. And that
Herbalism's
was
useless with the
it was
no.
I used it in Mystic Pandaria because that's what he always was, and I just decided, you know, well, if I need to make money, he's a total loner. He needs to enchant his own gear, and so I said, boom, he's becoming an enchanter. So I've been spending this whole last 2 weeks trying to get him up to 700, trying to gear him up.
That was the first time you did that in forever, isn't it? Because that's when I was
Yeah.
driving home from work and we had the Skype call on my
I was
drive.
so confused about a few things. I've never done that. I've always done it from 1 to. You guys got to remember, I only have one tune. I've only had one tune for like all these years. So I finally reset, and I was like, how do you do other professions again? I don't remember.
That's funny.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was going to say that's a good thing, man, because that shows that you've picked it and you've stuck with it, and to only change it now,
Yeah.
that's a pretty commendable effort. Like
I
I know
swapped out the
people that
herbalism
like
too,
every
though.
other week.
Right. It was a little different. It's definitely different for me to switch up and go all the way back from 1 again. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't
You
remember any of the
adapted, which
ingredients.
I think is awesome. You realize that herbalism, okay, is not a thing right now because you have your
Oh, yeah.
garrison, and let's be. I did the same thing as you. Not recently. I did it a little bit back. I swapped out my herbalism for tailoring, actually.
On your warlock?
I did.
Yeah,
It
because
was
we
me
were both the
center.
same profession.
We
I
did. We
remember
had the
that.
exact same professions. I did swap that stuff out because, like you, what's the point of it? It was absolutely
Right.
useless. So
And when I boosted my 90 human, he was boosted with enchanting and tailoring, so I didn't have to mess with that, you know. So it was really easy for me to get him up to 700. So that's what I've been doing. I need to get him ready to go for the next season because he's going to be by himself and he needs to enchant his own gear.
oh yeah,
Is your hair dyed the right color?
It is.
We're
Oh
good
yeah,
now.
it's
he's
the hair
properly
will be dyed.
accessorized, not accessorized. He's properly accessorized, complete with the under ruse.
Exactly.
Lycan, what did you? Ruse means something different in Australia, which is why it's funny. Because when I first
I
said
haven't
ruse, he was like,
backyard.
"What do you mean? Somebody's wearing a kangaroo?" And I'm like, "No, my son, my 5-year-old, calls them underoos, so they're designated ruse in the house."
I just had mental images back then of like a 5-year-old pinging around with a kangaroo.
Lycan, what did you do this week in WoW?
Did raid last night. Thought it was fun. We actually were on Hans and Franz. We're still just doing normal Blackrock Foundry, but we were on Hans and Franz in our tank.
No
my
progression
off tank.
whatsoever. We're just
No.
we're dicking around, getting some tier pieces normal for some people. We have absolutely no desire to do anything until Hellfire.
My off tank was Greeley last night, and he died
Man.
at the end, like 3% of the boss, and I had to double tank both bosses for a while. That was fun.
You know, Greeley, he came to us last week or the week before. He's actually a listener. The people that come from the podcast, I tell you, have been the most entertaining that we have. And matter of fact, on that, I'll let you finish and then I'll talk about that. But anyway, tanking. Sorry, I was going to go off on who was invited this week from the podcast. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, pretty much that's it. I was doing raiding, doing the old school raids that I do, just trying to get that last mod out of Dragon Soul bloke that I
He's
were
an
trying
ICC like every other day.
Yeah, trying to get invincible. I'm never going to get that damn thing. And then,
We've got a competition going on to see who's going to get invincible first for bragging rights. And at the rate we're going, it's going to be Friday.
It'll be the one person that steps in there that never goes in there, and then one time they go in there and they get it, and you're like, seriously?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then with the Twitch thing that we're talking about too, I want people to hang out with me because I'm going to be discussing a lot of lore stuff on her, and I cannot wait. I've been waiting so long to say it, but yeah, as much lore stuff as I do here, I'm going to be doing old school raids and pet battles, but that's really not going to be the focus of it. We're going to be doing, if you want to discuss pet battles, that's fine. If you want to discuss lore, that's fine. I'm just super excited. I can't wait to actually go.
It's going to be like
go
a
live.
giant Skype call for you to theorycraft with everybody that comments on the videos that wants to theorycraft with you live. Like, I think that's what's going to be awesome about it.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of because I sat there and talked to one of our writers, and from the PDQ, and we sat there and discussed it. Yes, and we sat for 2 hours on Skype discussing, the whole Archimon, the whole time change thing. So it'll be fun, and I can't wait to look forward to doing that.
Pretty exciting stuff. Cool. And Bloke, what did you do? What weird corners of Azeroth did you travel?
I have spent a ridiculous amount of time on my little death knight in the place that shall not be mentioned in fear of setting off Riser on a 20-minute rant again. I've actually been having a lot of fun in there.
That's pretty valid.
No chaos, it's just sheer bedlam and chaos and whatever else, but it's just one of those simple things that, it's a no-brainer. You just go in there and you pew stuff and you run around and you do the things, and then I log off. Come this Tuesday when the patch drops, I'll be back on Huge Bloke mainstreaming through all the new content and getting stuck into it. But yeah, like I said, just going back, did a bit of old school stuff, trying to get mounts and pet battles, and I stood in Stormwind for about 45 minutes at one point and had a discussion on how to be Australian with some random that noticed he's like, are you that guy from the podcast that talks funny? I'm like,
I love it.
Firstly, fuck you and thank you. I don't talk funny. It's the rest of the world that talks funny. And then, we literally stood there in front of the auction house in Stormwind and had a 35-40 minute chat about the fine subtle nuances of Vegemite and why nobody should ever eat it.
Description enough was enough. I mean, Mrs. Bloke's going to make sure I have all the odd Australian flavors to taste when I know she's going to make sure her suitcase is packed full of stuff for me.
I honestly, I can't remember this kid's name, but he described it as kangaroo droppings in a jar, which, you know what, that's not far off. But
maybe
overall, that is a picture of my week. I go from spending 6 to 8 hours over a week in Ashran to 45 minutes in front of Stormwind talking about how shit.
That's way easier to do.
This is a bloke week through and through. And I still didn't get any damn mounts. But no, it's been a good week. Just hanging out with everyone in the two different guilds, the Riders and the Knights, and saying hi to everyone and being usual somewhat retarded crayon eating self.
It is really cool.
But we see that you still don't have your helmet. Where's your helmet?
No.
No helmet? Okay.
Because I'm sure I've got one laying around here.
I knew you were looking for that. My week consisted of trying to knock out the stuff for the flying. Let's see, me, Greeley, and Soiled did some more treasure hunting. I want to finish now. I want to get the actual treasure master. I think I'm 110 treasures. Hopefully
the 201.
Yeah, because I already got the 100, but you might as well finish it to get the actual achievement for it. Don't forget that Wowhead has a great tool. It's wowhead.com/flying, and it tells you your progress and what you need to be able to make that happen. So yeah, I've been trying to focus on being in TeamSpeak as much as I can with the guildies. During the week, it's really tiring because I no longer have the luxury of working from home. I actually have to go to the office. So I'm a little bit tired at the end of the night and my brain is pretty much mush. But I've been trying to focus as much as I possibly can on trying to do more guild things and have more time for that. So I either need to win the lottery or some relative that I don't know.
You should become a Vegemite reseller for America.
Some dough. Well, I don't think Vegemite. Stop talking to me about Vegemite. That's disgusting. But I do want to make sure that I wanted to highlight some of the people that we did get from the podcast this week. Holy Prince did come join us, which was pretty awesome. Legend.
I think that's what it was.
It's supposed to be Legend or Legend. We don't really know. If you're watching this, I apologize. I'm not really sure. You already know me well enough to know I can't pronounce shit. So,
right.
Is a shaman. You did also come and hang out with us. Holy Shield, Dude Weiser, and Gingerlock all came to come hang out with the writers this week. I thank you for coming to hang out with us. If you're looking for a place to come hang out.
Dude Weiser in particular. gets an extra huzzah.
That's your buddy, right? That's
Yeah, because he pretended to be someone else, and me being as intelligent and super smart as I am, I didn't even pick it up for
That's
like
so
a whole
funny.
2 hours that it was the
Like,
same person I talked to every other night.
So funny.
Hey, and let me toss in a real quick with the people that are coming over. If you're worried about coming to a new server, not having anything, not being able to do anything, we'll help you out a little bit. You know, we got a little care package we got to get you going.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so if you want to come over to Riders of Rohan, please, we always take
Every new member that comes over that's not a max level tune, or if it looks like, like if you're a 60 or 50 or 40 under, we look at your level, we send you the welcome package. You get gold and you get bags and stuff. That's not a queue for all the assholes to come and get free crap. But
right.
So
they
I don't
give you a gift basket, and it has it has pills in there that make your bowels smell like cinnamon.
What?
Yes, I've seen it.
Hold on.
I am so very confused.
You don't remember that? It's from a movie.
I'm scared that I feel like you know what that is in real life.
Well, yeah, it exists.
I get it once a week. It gets delivered to my door.
Doesn't everybody?
Okay, I'm over it. I can't even deal with you right now. Cinnamon, of all things?
Yeah, it comes in a gift basket. I think it's actually from Family Guy. The fans need to, on the comments, you need to post where I got that from because I totally forgot.
That's super.
I'm pretty sure it was Family Guy when Peter Schmidt went to Peter and Peter becomes a millionaire and then Peter Schmidt gives him a gift basket.
I oddly enough know what you're talking about.
But I don't actually know who he was talking to and who he gave the basket to. I don't remember that. So the fans, you need to correct me.
Yeah,
Thank
please.
You.
I feel like I've got homework right now. It's like finish recording the show and then go and watch 17 seasons of Family Guy.
We are going to go ahead and wrap it up. Make sure that if you're trying to get a hold of Frieza, you add his battle tag, which is Frosty.
Frosty1321, and I also wanted to add that I do have a YouTube channel that is up and going. I will be posting up all my videos weekly. I will be putting up weekly highlights and stuff.
That's awesome. What's the name of the channel?
Frieza the Mage.
So all mages, calling out all mages, go to Frieza the Mage to get some mage stuff.
I will be making a strategy guide. I know me and my brother had a good conversation a couple days ago about my strategy guide for mages. We're going to come out with it right when the new patch comes out. I'm going to practice in arenas and get to figure out what the mage feels like with the new buffs and the new stuff. So then I'll be coming out with a strategy guide.
Awesome.
And I'll be doing that, every month.
Awesome. Lycan, how can they get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me, Lycan at Pwnecast.net. I do have a battle tag. I'm trying to get it changed, but I had changed it a long time ago. And
I wouldn't give it out.
No. But you can get a hold of me, Lycan at Pwnecast.net. If you go on to Argent Dawn, I'm always on Argent Dawn. Give me Lycanthropo, and it's very easy to spell. Once you get online, I'll put it up on a Facebook page. Get a hold of me that way on Argent Dawn as well.
Huge Book, how can they get a hold of you?
Mr. Giant 1113.
That's like the oddest name ever.
How much does that sound like it's from a porn site? Podcast username. I really need to change that
awesome.
too. But no, that's why they increased the limit to 200 people. So I've got room for another 198 friends.
Oh, nice. I like it.
And if you need to get a hold of me, I'm pretty much all over Azeroth, so it's not really difficult to find me. I'm everywhere. Also, make sure you guys go to the PwnecastDailyQuest.com, see the guides we have up there, see the news that's up there, videos, all the good stuff that we have up there. If you're listening to this episode, make sure you hop on over to YouTube and check out the video version. And also, don't forget to go preempt our launch party for next week and go to twitch.tv/Pwnecast and go give us a follow so you can be notified when we do start up. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And now I got to go. I'm leaving right now.
Vishnu, Allah. Bye.
If I had a mic, I would drop it. We're going to get on out of here.
Murad, do you have a mic? Murad. Murad, do you have a mic? He dropped it already.
And Hot makes his appearance.
I knew he's been sitting here for like 20 minutes. I knew he was going to do that.